And hello, everybody. It's Digi-Key and Adafruit together on Discord once again. Lady Ada.
Hey, hello.
What are we doing here?
Well, every Thursday, the last 2 weeks, then this week and the next week, we are doing a half hour plus a little bit more, sometimes in a half hour hangout with your two favorite electronics components, manufacturing companies, Digi-Key from Thief River Falls, Minnesota, and Adafruit here in New York. And we're going to bring us together, not by bending time and space, but just by doing a really cool webcast where like we dial in and we're chatting. So we're here, me and Mr. Lady Ada, in New York at the Adafruit factory.
That's right.
And with us, coming to us all the way from Thief River Falls, Minnesota, is Kevin, Nate, and Kyle. Hello, folks.
You're back. And thank you for delivering on the promise. Each week you broadcasted from a different area. People asked about the conveyor belts. That's where you're in shipping.
And these are cool because, like, as you've mentioned in previous shows, the time in which everyone starts ordering is now, like an hour before the cutoff for same day delivery. So it's funny is when we were first doing a check, I'd see like one box go every few minutes, but now the boxes are coming pretty fast. So it's working out for you.
It's extremely busy this time of night, and you'll see some amazing workers behind us. They're putting in everything they got every night, trying to get all these packages out. So if you see people running behind us, I guarantee they're not going to stop.
And some other news, I just wanted to make one announcement because Digi-Key's been part of this. Thank you, Digi-Key. Thank you, our Adafruit community. Thank you, everyone on Discord. We're celebrating 1 year together on Discord. Today we had over 800 people, all humans at the same time. We're almost about 7,000 people strong. So I can't think of a better time, a better place, or a better group of people to celebrate it. So if you're in the chat, which we will bounce over to once in a while, say hello to Digi-Key. And we do have a special guest. So
yeah, who's a special guest?
Yeah, Digi-Keyers. Who's there?
Well, I don't know if you guys have heard of the brains behind the company, but our COO, Dave Doherty, is here. He's going to say a few words to everybody.
We happen to have a photo the last time Dave was here.
Hey!
and that really kicked off everything. We even made a graphic back in the day. So this was Lady Ada and Dave when...
Let's get the Digi-Key red t-shirt.
Yeah. On brand as always. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Dave.
Hello.
How are you guys?
It's good to see you. This is awesome. I love that y'all are in the factory, and I thought I would be a tough interviewer for like a couple minutes.
We have Dave for like 7 or 8 minutes, so we're going to do like 7 or 8 questions in 7 or 8 minutes because I think Dave has to go and make sure all those packages get out.
No, he's the one who tapes them closed. Okay, so who are you and what do you do there? That's the first question.
Yeah, so Lamore, I'm the president of Digi-Key. I've been here for 10 years. I started my career in engineering, so over my lifespan, I've been a customer of Digi-Key's, worked for a supplier of products to Digi-Key, with a competitor for a short time, and have been here ever since and loving every minute of it.
And we've actually, we met you a while ago when we started. It kind of kicked off this relationship, Digi-Key and Adafruit working on stuff together. And like, it's kind of an interesting relationship we have. Like, what's your view? How do you see us working together? Like the Adafruiters and the Digi-Keyers?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's about as special a relationship as we have. But we're connected many different ways. You're a customer of ours. You're a supplier to us. More importantly, you're a marketing partner. We view you as just the center for innovation. I was trying to think of an analogy, and if we're a restaurant depot, if we have all the material, you're like the gourmet chef that teaches people how to take those materials and create some unbelievable dishes.
Okay, yeah. Well, and then I publish the recipes as open source, and that works out.
I did want to say there was a special thing that happened with our relationship with Digi-Key. So Digi-Key has been participating with AdaBox.
Yes, they have been a stalwart supporter.
Yeah, so I can't give away too much what's in AdaBox. However, Digi-Key is a part of the latest AdaBox. There was AdaBox 7, AdaBox 8. In the last AdaBox, and this is, we do hug reports at Adafruit. It's like, oh, hug reports is kind of like, thanks. So in the last AdaBox, Digi-Key lent us the Digi-Keyer.
And they actually brought it physically here.
We were worried that we were going to lose it because there's like one. So it's mounted on this thing. We took some great photos and all that. And then as AdaBox was shipping, we talked to the team at Digi-Key. We're like, this is something to celebrate. And this is the puzzle that came in. AdaBox 7. And the thing that we didn't expect, we thought it was going to be a hit, but engineers and their kids, this is dad and daughter day. And they're like, I'm going to build this puzzle together. These kids being introduced to not only Adafruit, but also Digi-Key. So they tweeted these, they sent emails. It's popular with cats. So this worked out really well. So thanks for lending probably one of the...
it's a relic.
Yeah, for one of the first pieces of Digi-Key history to us. And that allowed us to not only do some neat stuff when we first met, but then get this puzzle for people to maybe save for their entire life. So thanks.
In reality, Ron was like a maker back in the day ahead of his time. I believe he'd be watching this Discord broadcast right now if he were back at the University of Minnesota. And you look at that board, you know, it's nothing compared to some of the circuit playground and the cricket and the things you're producing today. But that was his attempt at producing something with electronics.
Yeah, but the process is the same. Like, we spec the parts, we prototype it on a breadboard, and then, you know, and then we wire it together, and then we do revisions. Like, nothing has really changed. It's just the parts are way smaller. You just need a better soldering iron tip.
When I met Lamore, she was working on the Minty Boost, and we have the first one. It reminds me of that because
it was hand etched,
you know,
in ferric chloride.
And like every engineer, she looks at, she's like, but it's like it's a piece of history that you get to keep. So I'm hoping one day, maybe 10 years from now, we'll do like a Minty Boost puzzle or something for AdaBox.
Still in a bin.
For AdaBox 50 or something.
That's another thing about engineers. We're all pack rats. Okay, so next question.
So we have more questions.
We have more questions. Okay, so last time we did the stream, we got to see this like gigantic window overlooking a gigantic construction zone. And apparently there's an expansion happening at Digi-Key. What is this expansion? Are you part of it? Do you even know about it?
Yeah, vaguely. I've seen a little bit out our back window.
We can show you if you want.
But you know what, Lamore, it's pretty exciting. Digi-Key's been up here for 46 years. This is our home. We can't wait till you guys come up here and see our backyard. And it's just not big enough to support the demand. So we're taking the facility that we've been here 20 years, and we're going to build one behind us about 4X. It'll fit 26 football fields. It's 1 million square feet. It's going to be even more parts, more technology, more toys for people to play with.
And I mean, to grow from, I have a question. So the warehouse you're in, of course, you probably didn't start in the warehouse you're in now, but you probably moved in, what, like 20 years ago or something?
20 years ago into this building, and 46 years ago in Dr. Stordahl's trunk, and then a couple of places along the way.
So why are you now expanding 4 times? I mean, that's a massive growth. Like, what is it that you're selling so much of? Like, why do you think, like what's happening there? You know, like what is this mutation that's occurring that
you're growing? Are the parts getting bigger? What's going on?
Yeah, like, is this just like now this big, and so you just need 4 times as much space?
You know, I'll tell you, a lot of it is the demand people like you are creating. You know, we've got this built-up momentum. STEM has been talked about in schools for years now, and now with access to boards like the ones that you're producing, people want technology. There's a renaissance like I've never seen before. Parts are getting gobbled up in automobiles for safety features and informatics. They're getting gobbled up in IoT devices. The maker community, micro manufacturing, there's just this confluence of things right now that just has demand exploding.
I think another one of the things that I know that you're from Minnesota, so you're very humble, but I think one thing that, we see a lot is as more things are getting cars and devices and phones, they're all becoming so detailed, complicated electronics. The supply chain also has to be trustworthy, right? Because one bad part will take out your entire product. $1,000 device, but you have, bad capacitors, or like one chip isn't really what you thought it is, and it can destroy the entire thing. And I think not only is it that people are making more electronics, but they need a reliable, trustworthy source for electronics, and that's you guys. That's Digi-Key is like known to be like the most trusted source. You always know what you're getting, and it's always traceable. It's like it's the real thing. There's never going to be a substitution, which has happened to me a bunch of times, and it's kind of sad when it does.
Is that part of the growth drivers, that there's more people making electronics, and you need the reliability to make sure, like, you can kind of do one-offs and like prototype, but eventually you have to go to market with the real deal.
You hit it on the head. I don't know how dangerous it is to have a counterfeit pocketbook or set of golf clubs, but certainly you don't want a counterfeit product in a car you're driving, certainly not an autonomous vehicle. You don't want it up in space in a satellite. And that's just part of the DNA. It's part of the culture here. I was just commending the team People wanted better food choices, so we started putting fruit out in all the break rooms with a jar and say it's 50 cents for an apple or an orange. It's the honor system, and we've never had any issue with that for 6 months. It's just a jar.
That's a good idea.
And do you what do you think is Digi-Key's secret? I mean, like, we're all into open source. We tell each other, what's the secret sauce? Like, what is it that makes Digi-Key so special?
Yeah, the question that we were thinking of, if you were to create a recipe for Digi-Key, what would be the secret sauce? Like
50-cent apples.
Well, we'll tell you Adafruits. I mean, we did the Maker to Market series, which kind of said everything. But what do you think some of the secret ingredients or the whatever ingredients that makes a Digi-Key a Digi-Key?
Without hesitation, I'd say the people. Now, I'm not originally from this area. I grew up in Boston. I've lived in various parts of the country. But I, again, just told the team, the parts aren't unique that we sell. We don't make any of them. We take products from you and other trusted sources. FedEx and UPS, as much as we've asked them, they ship for our competitors as well as us. Our equipment is pretty cool, but not super proprietary. So the only distinction we have up here is our team members. It's not about putting that expansion somewhere else in a bigger city. We consume a lot of the labor up here, but we don't think there's anywhere we could be where we get this service and this commitment and this sense of pride. On paper, we have one owner, but in reality, we have 3,500 owners of the business up here.
There's 3,500 people. Wow.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we said this on other chats. It's very similar. Like, it's a 100% woman-owned company here. It's Lady Ada, but the team runs the company. They own the company. We're transparent with all our numbers and all the different pieces. We're in the same boat. For us, it's the community, it's our customers, it's the code, it's the support, it's the guides, it's the videos. Because you can probably get like a development board from not Adafruit, but it's the experience that adds to the physical. That sometimes it's hard to explain. It's like, well, these are just microcontrollers. It's like, right, this one might be one that you learn the next thing that unlocks a career. This might be the thing that sets you up to be the next entrepreneur, and you go from that maker to professional. And so the care that goes into things, and on another chat, someone mentioned it in the Discord chat. They're like, oh yeah, I call Digi-Key on Christmas Day because I know someone's there just to say hello.
You want to develop that trust, but I think what we try to emulate from you as well is just listen to your customers, listen to the engineers. If you're a good listener, they'll tell you exactly what you need to do more of and do less of.
From the chat, this is kind of a neat thing. I'll flip over to this because I like this comment. Someone said, I think one of Digi-Key's success is the catalog. They would send me back when I would build micros for Zenus. I could always find the parts I need.
Yeah, that's a great catalog.
Yeah, it's like you had the best catalog.
But actually, Digi-Key has in my opinion, like Digi-Key has the best search site. It's lean, it's mean, but you can. I mean, you have millions of parts. You have to like get the specification. And if you don't have a good search system, it's useless. Like there's no way to sift through all that information without it all categorized. That's actually what the work is categorizing them.
So it's the secret sauce. So we'll give you our answer after, but you have to go first, Dave. How does Digi-Key measure success? Like, what are your metrics that you look at each week, month? Like, what's the important thing? It's like, hey, we're doing good.
Yep. You know what? For us, we're kind of an anomaly like you. We're not public, and so we're not that emphasized. We put zero emphasis on the financial metrics. What are the inventory turns? What we look at is service credibility. Did every order go out tonight, and did it go out last night? Do we have enough inventory in stock to support the demand? How many rings did it take before we picked up the phone? And we monitor those religiously, every call, every abandoned call. And we feel like if we can do things better in the eyes of our customers, the financials will follow. You don't lead with them. They're a result of doing things right.
I heard a rumor that the founder, or maybe you, still looks at how many packages didn't go out. Like, there's always something that happened. Something can happen, like it's right after the cutoff or something like that. That metric has to be such a low number.
It has to be zero.
And then and when it does happen, they run down. Like, let's figure out how that happened.
It's absolutely spot on. That's probably the most famous report, is looking at the following morning, what went out the night before, how many orders, any issues that we had. And like you said, and more as you were indicating, we pride ourselves that orders taken by 8, we'll get out that night. FedEx just put their first is a CRJ-200 now flying out of Thief River Falls. And when you see this airport, you'll be amazed that it fits on the runway. It's the first jet of that size anywhere in the country, first jet that FedEx is using of a CRJ-200 nature. And that's to get more product out more quickly.
No, we're totally seeing those boxes. They're flying now.
Yeah, it's the end of the night orders.
It's coming. Okay, so the next question.
Well, I said we'd share ours. So we've sent over our State of the Fruit notes to the Digi-Key team. We probably do something similar. It's how many packages went out on time, same day, in stock percentage. For us, we try to have 99% of the things in stock. It's all about like, how do you improve that? It's not, yes, it's great to have money, but that's not just it. It's the customer service, the shipping. How many problems have we solved? We have Pivotal that we use for our web development. How many Pivotals have we closed? All those things. How many customers did we answer? How much fraud attempts did we stop? So we do a very similar thing where it's all about improving, and it comes from the bottom up. The teams are coming up with how to solve those things.
Okay, so,
so it sounds like we have a similar cookbook.
Okay, so the next question that we came up with was, okay, this is actually something I was curious about is, you sell so many parts, I mean, like millions and millions of parts, but where, if you're growing so much, where specifically are you seeing that growth? Is it in raw components? Is it like wireless modules? Is it dev kits? Like what do you see is like the 80-20 rule, right? They always say that, like 80% comes from 20% of the growth. Sorry, 80% of the growth comes from 20% of the product. So what do you, can you tell us or share with us some of those items or categories?
Yeah, I would say discrete components is still the vast majority of what we sell, component level. But from a percentage, fastest growing is definitely boards, dev kits, starter kits. People want to get to market faster. And this whole micro manufacturing phenomenon of people building small lot sizes of everything is taking the business by storm.
Are there things that you're noticing just because technology has moved on that aren't selling as much? Like, no more vacuum tubes, sorry, like we just don't sell that anymore.
We joked about that before we came on air, that there's absolutely, what amazes me as much as the longevity of some components. Some of those original parts from the Digiboard, I'd be willing to bet we still have in bins here, and we're still selling some. But what the users should be careful of is with some of this merger and acquisition activity that's taken place, some of these large suppliers getting bigger are trying to rationalize that portfolio, that I've got two product lines that look similar, so I'll keep one and discontinue the other. So stay abreast, use the website, use some of the designators. We're trying to give you some keys of, yes, we stock this part, but not necessarily recommended for a new design. You might want to go to this latest and greatest technology. Yeah,
that's because there's been Analog bought Linear, and then TI, when they bought National, that was, everyone started like, oh my goodness, like we got to make sure that there was so much overlap between TI and Nat Semi, that to make sure that whatever components, logic chips that you were looking for, there's usually a one-to-one cross, but like, you have to be careful. It's never a perfect drop-in until you know it's a perfect drop-in. So yeah, this is definitely something to consider. And as chips are getting more complicated, the drop-inableness is less so. It's not TTL logic. It's like there's more in it now.
Like Dave was saying, I think sometimes when there's mergers, the sales teams comes in, they're like, oh, we have a bunch of this other stuff. We're going to really push that, even though it might not be the right thing.
Sure. Well, and as you're talking about, though, there's timing. Data sheets are great, and we need them, but they're not going to perform exactly the same way in every application. And so you need that information, need that assurance. So let's stay in touch with each other, and we'll help each other out and try to continue that speed to market that our engineers are looking for.
I love Digi-Key Secret. Actually, when I buy stuff, you get end-of-life notifications, and you get them pretty early. You get like last buy. So it's not just like we're completely done. Usually you have like a 9-month window or so. And Digi-Key will send you an email and say, hey, you bought this part. By the way, like it's last buy time, or it's end of life has begun. And then you have a chance to go in and say, okay, I need 2 years worth of stock just to get me through until I can redesign. This is just a common thing that happens in engineering. Yeah. So getting those notifications is really nice, because like I can't keep track of like every website, every component. But if your supplier does that for you, it's like one less thing you have to worry about.
Yeah, it's a simple model. We're going to be successful if our customers are. And so whether it's notifying them of obsolescence, alerting them of new technologies, whatever we can do, because we're only part of that ecosystem.
All right.
Okay, so cool.
So we have another question. So behind us, I don't know if you can see it, we have our Digi-Key calendar. We're going to be out at
and mark on the calendar.
Yeah, we're going to be out. Thanks for sending that in the mail. I don't know who did that, but we're going to be out at Thief Rivers this summer. So what can we expect? Because it's maybe not a normal tourist destination for everyone in the U.S. Right? Like not many people I know, Do
you ever have people show up and be like, I'm a Digi-Key fan, I was just in the area and I want a tour?
Yeah, we absolutely do. It's not the easiest place to get to, but you'll find the red carpet rolled out when people come up here. I can guarantee, Phil, the first thing you'll say to Lamore is, we're not in Kansas anymore. We're not in New York City. We're back in the country, back to some of your roots in Minneapolis, but even much more rural than that, 300 miles north of the Twin Cities. But it's special. People are great, very welcoming. We raised we finished raising our 3 children here, and we'd have had it no other way. And you'll see that commitment and that passion when you come here, that people care. It's a little bit of a throwback. It's hard to replicate.
Right.
Yeah, before we went live, I was saying, you know, I've only lived in 2 places the longest. It's been New York and Minnesota. And one of the things I really liked was just the quiet, humble dedication to get up early and shovel a bunch of snow and just go to work and like smile the whole time.
Well, that's why we're going in August, right?
Yeah.
Like I think y'all invited us in January, and we're like, not quite ready for that.
I owe ice fishing because I used to go ice fishing. I owe some team members that
Start
would
in
take me.
August.
So how is the weather going to be if we're there in August?
Weather will be great, but you know, the thing they say up here, if it's not shoveling snow, do you know what our state bird is up here in Minnesota?
It's mosquitoes, I know.
They're big and there's lots of them, but we'll find a way to have some fun while you're here.
Okay, well, when we come out, we're gonna do some filming. So some of this stuff might look familiar when we have that. And we said we'd get you out of here pretty fast because I know you have more packages to ship, Dave. So thank you so much. Thank you for wearing Adafruit Black on brand for us. Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, get back to cutting those resistors.
Great to see both of you again. Take care, and we'll see you live soon.
Okay, you got some shout outs in the chat. They were like, whoa, is that really Dave? So.
It was.
All right, thank you, Digi-Keyers.
All right.
You rolled in with the president.
Epic.
No, it's hard to follow that. Yeah.
They're like,
actually, it's not. So a lot of people are interested in the conveyor belt system, by the way. They're like, Dave's nice. Anyways, so where are you and what's going on behind you right now?
So we are in the corner of the warehouse. This is one of our pick bays where obviously there's a lot of parts. And then these totes are going right to package stations to ship out your order. I'm sure, Lamore, that was probably your order going by right now.
Yeah, I just wanted to buy. So that question, when it goes to the packaging station, do you get the boxes, like, is there like a robot? Because I've seen robots that put together boxes. Like, do you do that, or is it done by hand?
It's done by hand a little bit.
Okay. That's the best way to like optimize if you want to get it perfect. And then you guys must get so much of that Giami, like the cat toy packing material. Why do you guys do that? It's kind of interesting. You're the first company that I remember ever buying from that wasn't using bubble wrap, but was using that like paper mesh.
You can make that on site, right? Can you just like grind up cardboard?
Yeah, it comes in a roll actually.
Yeah, and it pulls
paper, and then there's a machine that.
So why would you know why? Like, what's up with that? Like, it's kind of interesting.
I think it was mainly for environmental impact.
Yeah. All the plastic from the other wrappings that you get from other companies, not environmentally friendly. This is a cardboard substance that you can recycle.
Yeah.
Really, like Kyle said, it comes in rolls, so it's much easier to store.
Yeah. Before we had the Giami, we actually had a couple silos on site that were full of the pink styrofoam peanuts. Yeah. And those were what we used to fill the boxes. And there was literally tubes going all throughout the entire shipping area of piping those in from the silos. And it's so cumbersome and takes up so much room, and it's not environmentally friendly. That when we found out about Giami, it just kind of made sense to switch to that option.
That's cool.
All
Cats
right.
love that stuff.
Yeah. So the other thing I have before I ask you how your day was, I know you've been busy. There was another online broadcast. You sent some nice photos over. And we're probably the only people that like to collect photos of shipping stuff.
This is a nice stack.
So you sent 3 photos over. This was the first one. It's displayed on screen. What's going on here?
So this is right outside of the UPS and FedEx shipping area. And this is just a small portion of probably an hour's worth of boxes heading out the door. And I know how much you guys love to see the Digi-Key boxes. Can you imagine how many engineer stories are inside of these boxes?
There's so many. There's like so much joy and wonder and hope and last minute fixes. Yeah, I think every box tells a different story. It's a different product or a different.
There's so many crises being solved.
Oh, indeed. When I was in sales and both technical support, you got so many calls where it's like people were just desperate to get parts, and especially tech support helping them find the parts that they needed. We run into it all the time, and it's great. It was so satisfying to help those people find what they need and get out to them the next day.
Kind of funny too, because it's not uncommon for us to get emails from customers saying, "You guys just saved my job,"
Right?
Yeah. we read those at our State of the Fruit, and one of the latest ones was, I was having a heart attack, but then your breakout board saved my life. And I think it was a joke, but then sometimes it's not. Sometimes people are like, no, actually, this is, I was working on this in the save. I was working on a medical thing, and like, this was a good thing. So we have another photo. This is the second one. So it looks like these are going into some type of container.
Yeah, so what FedEx does is they fill these containers, and then they bring them right to the airport here and throw them on the airplane. Go right into an airplane. You can kind of see the one side is curved as the fuselage in the airplane.
I'll go to the other photo. Yeah, your containers are airplane shaped, probably because they go into airplanes.
That's absolutely right. So these are all going right onto an airplane to a specific location. So we pre-sort all the packages here in-house for FedEx and UPS, which helps them to get them to you on time.
Yeah.
Lamar, you had a question?
No, I was actually wondering, like, is it pre-sorted? And the thing I was thinking is, as components come less in tubes and they come more on tray and reel, like the boxes aren't going to be long and skinny. They're going to be kind of squarish and easier to package. So hopefully, I don't know if long-term you actually see the difference, but I remember, like, whenever I used to get Digi-Key boxes, I'd get chips on tube, and like the tubes are pretty long, so the boxes were always really skinny. But now that I get surface mount parts, the boxes are very nice and compact, very easy to package.
To pack those containers for FedEx, you have to be really good at puzzles.
Live Tetris.
And then last up, because we're almost at the half an hour. Wow, that went fast. You had a live broadcast, and we didn't plan this or anything. We just happened to notice because we were trying to tune in a little bit. You did a graphics library that just happened to use our stuff today with Make Live, my old job.
Yeah, so we do this once a quarter. Or actually, no, it's about once a month. We do a Make Live with Make Magazine, and Tyler does a fantastic job with all the different projects. And really what it is, it's how to create a project live on the air. And what I really like about it is he does it live on the air, and there's always some kind of an issue. So it's real. I mean, who doesn't put together an electronics project and have some kind of a setback? I know the one he did was a Raspberry Pi, and halfway through it did a software update.
It's funny you say that. We've been doing a lot of these type of broadcasts, and we added more shows. And in the winter months, we tend to stay home a little bit more. So we do Desk of Lady Ada. And I think one of the people that was in the Desk of Lady Ada chats, I think they're in Discord. And I remember they said something really specific that I was like, wow, this was kind of a good idea. So Lamore will make something in EagleCAD. She'll go to the Digi-Key site. She'll pick out parts, and something doesn't work out. And they said, I don't feel bad about how I'm designing now, because I thought, like, if it was like Lady Ada, it's just going to be perfect. It's like you actually make some of the same mistakes as me. You go through some of the same challenges. It's not just like it's perfect, like you send your boards off and you're done. So I think lowering that barrier and allowing people to see, like, this is part of the story in the design process. We had to come up with Sparky the Blue Smoke Monster. We have a Cricket one here.
Do you want me to turn it on?
Yeah, you can turn it on. And the reason we had to do that is because even young people were like, well, I can only do electronics if it's perfect. So we made this like Cookie Monster-like thing. So this is Cricket. This is what Digi-Key worked with us on for maybe an upcoming Ada box. I don't want to spoil any surprises. But Sparky just basically says, like, hey, like, you blew up your electronic project. That's part of the fun. You probably needed some capacitors. Like, these are things that.
That's why they said the passives are the highest, one of the highest growth areas.
Yeah. So if anyone's watching from our collective community or competitors, show your work and show the mistakes. It's okay. We'll get more people together because nothing's perfect. It's never done. You just get finished because you have to move on to the next project sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I remember that day in school. That was one of my favorite days in college, was when we got to find out what happens when you put high voltage reverse polarity across a aluminum capacitor.
Sparky. You're a friend.
Okay, well, we're at the half an hour mark. So for next week, what do y'all want to do? I think we talked about we might do a Desk of Lady Ada here, where maybe she uses the site. Do y'all want to roll in with something? We can chat it out right now and figure out what you want to do for the final live broad. I mean, I'm just final for this series. We'll talk offline. Maybe we should do this more.
Yeah, we should definitely do this more. I think it'd be great to do another one of these. I think we can find another undisclosed location inside the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in the packing area. That would be really cool. I mean,
Okay.
my request, you don't have to take it seriously if you can't, but to see the boxes as they get packed.
All right, so why don't we divide up the first half? Maybe we'll do a little bit of somewhere at Digi-Key, and the second half, Lamore will spec out a part or something live from her laptop.
Maybe I'll even place the order and
Maybe
see the
she'll
conveyor.
Maybe she'll place the order.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. You could call in and place the order, and then we could invite whoever you call over to wherever we're at. And you can say hi.
I know, because everyone's in, and that'd be really creepy. They'll be like, "What? What do you mean that person is?"
And I'm sure they'll love going on camera. So
Yeah.
All right, we'll spec a part maybe, and we can place the order it online. I have an account, so we don't have to say any credit card numbers.
No, I'll flip away from that. So
We'll
there's
flip
no.
away. Okay. Well, we have an account.
Yeah.
We order so much from Digi-Key. We have like an open account. We have like a bar tab, for all the parts we get.
So once again, the team reminded me that we're going to do a giveaway, and thanks for taking care of that giveaway. The person was so nice over email. It's like I love Digi-Key. Like I won stuff. This is great. This is like the best. I think it was like birthday or something. Something happened where it was all like good times.
his birthday last week, and I just threw in a bunch of extra Digi-Key stuff, and he was pretty excited.
All right.
So we like him.
Do you want to do the same thing this week? We'll take the call, and then we'll connect them up with y'all, and you can send them out some Digi-Key stuff.
That sounds good. I'll throw in a Circuit Playground with it, or I'll find some great Digi-Key stuff.
All right. So let's do the phone call. We're going to open up the phone lines in a second. This is the phone number. Get your phone and start to figure this out.
Okay.
Lady Ada, what are the rules?
Rules are, if you want something on our other shows, you can win here. But if you want on the other two Digi-Key chats, maybe let somebody else have a chance of winning. I like to give each
I
show.
won't call in.
Yeah, and don't call in if you're on the show. And the first person to call when I pick up the phone, I'm going to ask you your name and where you're calling from. And I'm going to ask you if you've ever ordered something from Digi-Key. And if not, so what's something that you want to order from Digi-Key? Maybe you have some ideas for a project.
All right.
And then we'll send you some free stuff. So the lines are open.
The phone lines are open. It's own bit stab. You just have to figure out.
You now call.
Yeah, with the calls.
And
so.
you keep your eye on them. So you
Yeah,
know
I'm
they're not-
watching.
they're not-
I'm
don't let
watching to
them
make sure
call.
they don't call this time. Yeah. So anyone?
Yeah, see, I was your hands.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of. Oh, that was fast. I was gonna say there's always a delay with the chat, but let's do this. Okay,
Okay,
lady.
second ring.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hi, you reached Chat with Digi-Key and Adafruit, and you're the winner.
Come on.
Congratulations.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
Yeah, totally way. What's your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Mark, and I'm just outside of Boston. There's like a 5-second lag, so I was very confused for a second.
Yeah. All right, well, Mark from Boston, well, congratulations. You're from the same town as the president of Digi-Key, so you are next in line. You can fight him to the death with swords. And
I don't think that's how that works.
No, sorry, that's Game of Thrones.
Felt
Sorry.
the Digi-Key?
So have you ever ordered something from Digi-Key? And if not, do you want to order something? What would it be?
Oh, yeah. So I used to order a bunch of stuff like cables, and I used to work at like an inverter company, so
Okay,
all sorts
cool.
of stuff. Digi-Key.
Yeah, there's a lot of power companies outside of Boston. I remember that there's like Toroid inverter companies.
All
Well,
right.
that's awesome. We're going to send you some free stuff from Digi-Key. Thanks to the nice people.
Yeah.
All you have to do is email support@adafruit.com and
And
put
say you
down
want to put attention, Phil.
put attention Phil.
Yeah, that gets to me.
That's Phil.
I'm her assistant. I do all right now.
He's the only Phil in the company. And,
Yeah, that's right. Right now.
Right now you are. And we will get you out some free cool stuff from Digi-Key.
Oh, that was attention, Phil?
Attention
Yeah.
Phil.
Support at adafruit.com and just put attention, Phil, Digi-Key winner.
Yep. It's that easy.
Excellent.
Thanks, Mark from
Thank you
Boston.
very much.
Okay, bye.
Art from Boston.
I'm just kidding about the duel. I just thought it was funny that they're from the same town.
Well, you're from Boston, so I thought, okay, Lamore knows all these rules. I don't know.
Yeah, it's how it is in Boston.
Yeah, it's a tough town.
Toscaninis and sword duels. Okay,
right.
so cool. Mark from Boston going to email us. We'll get you some free stuff. And then next week, we're going to do another show. So if
Yeah.
you didn't win this time, worry not. You have one more chance.
Yeah.
We'll give away some more free stuff next week.
Yep.
Have
Thanks,
fun.
Kevin,
Nate,
Kyle, Dave, the
Dave,
entire community. Thanks.
conveyor belt.
Yeah, there was a lot of great Digi-Key stories. That's one of the things that is neat to see between the chat that's from the video and Discord is people sharing stories, their Digi-Key stories or Adafruit stories, and how these worlds come together. And I think this was a neat thing to do. So thanks for being part of this 1-year celebration on Discord and this weekly chat and filming and getting Dave to be on camera. And like one other thing, presidents of companies normally just like, there's not a lot of lady ADs who, you know, she's the owner of the company. They don't get on camera. And, you know, folks like Dave, they're not normally doing stuff like this. So thank you everybody who made all this happen, because wouldn't it be great if every company did stuff like this? I think people would get to know companies, and I think the companies would like to see their leaders, and they're very proud of their work. It'd be cool to have stuff like this live from where we do the work, live from, you know, the factory, live from the conveyor belt, live from all these different places. So thanks for putting this together, everybody over there.
Yes, and thank you for making it very easy for us. And congratulations on 1 year in Discord and 7,000 humans. That's amazing.
7,000 humans, 3 bots. We have bots that help moderate in case there's like curse words or something. So there are three bots. And
but
then,
they're very friendly.
And then there's robots.
And then there's robot
too,
friends,
so,
like we mentioned.
Yeah. All right. So we'll be in the Digi-Key Discord chat. We'll be in the Discord chat, and we'll see everybody next week. And thanks again.
All right. We have to order. You have 20 minutes to place your order.
Is that right? That's 20 minutes?
That's right.
23 minutes.
23 minutes.
Okay. You know what's funny? I was counting the conveyor belt, and it was increasing per minute. Yeah,
it's gone. But 23 minutes. If you want to play some Digi-Key, do it now.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, folks.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.